I'm Josh Rom. I know it's a Friday, but rest assured, we did film this on a Wednesday. I'm wearing pink, which can only mean one thing. Welcome to Film Watch.
Move. Hey, PG-13, please.
Hayley. I know the show's being released on a Friday, but we are filming this on a Wednesday, which means you're wearing kind of pink. I'm wearing pink. There's only one film which we're talking about. It is a remake, a musical remake, slightly different from the original.
Yeah.
First thoughts?
I loved it, and I just think that Mean Girls fans are going to like it.
Are they?
But that's probably the only...
Are
okay, I'm
they?
going to guess that you're not in the same boat as me then. I think it's for Mean Girls fans. I think they're the people that are going to like it.
Okay, all right. Whew, okay, yes, whilst I would agree with you, I think some Mean Girls fans are going to like it. For me, Mean Girls is the Gone with the Wind of rom-coms.
Yeah.
You just don't touch it. It's so, not ironic, but it is ironic, but it's so iconic, it's so genre-defining, it's so era-defining even, that I just think nothing can ever touch or go near the original. And to me, yes, we had Tina Fey come back in it, and it was clearly her project, and you know, we had the different element of the musical, and yes, we had the kind of social media element showing that the times have moved on a little bit, but I just felt it felt so much more flat. Half the jokes from the original film I don't think landed in the same way. I think partly because we're expecting them. I thought partly when you watch the film it was a case of, oh, I remember that joke. Oh, well, we're missing that joke. Oh, well, that didn't land the same way. That was delivered differently. I just felt all the wind of all the punch, the punch was taken out of it. The wind and the sails was just not there. Yeah.
I agree with you to an extent, but I do think that some of the jokes that they put in from the original and that they put a little twist on, I do think they worked, and in the cinema I was in, people were laughing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still laughed because the jokes are brilliant jokes. Yeah. But like, for example, the heavy flow and the wide set vagina, you know,
didn't work.
It didn't work. Like some of the deliveries from the original film were just so iconic, so etched in pop culture that when you do them second time around with a different actress, they're just not the same, and I think that's the problem with it. But we'll go into the kind of, you know, the itty-bitty little details. Renee Rapp as Regina George.
Amazing.
I think she was, if not the only thing that worked, she was the factor that made the film even slightly work in the first place. What did you think?
I mean, like, as you know, I saw her play Regina live on Broadway. Had never heard of her at that point, and me and my friend were like, she is incredible. She has the most incredible voice. One of the best voices I've ever heard live, which is a bold claim, but it's true. And yeah, she is the best thing about the film. There's no doubt about that. And I'm really happy that I think she is going to be a star after this.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the thing, I think, you know, the songs in the film, do you remember the songs from the film? I don't.
I remember Karen's song because it's the best song and maybe the only good song.
Well, I mean, the thing is, all I remember from the film is Renee Rapp going, "My name's Regina George and I'm a huge, massive deal," and that's it.
Fine.
I mean, that's the thing. I think if anybody embodied Rachel McAdams' portrayal, it was going to be her. She, I think, had the character absolutely spot on. I think you could see that this was a part that she was very familiar with. The Broadway experience definitely gave her an edge that other actresses wouldn't have. You know, she embodied the character in a very familiar way in which we kind of knew from the original film, but kind of, again, new social media aspects, new influencer aspects of it, kind of made the character slightly different, kind of brought it forward. And that was, I think, the only thing from the original film that was brought forward in a well, I know it's an unbelievable rom-com musical, but in a slightly authentic way.
Yeah.
Karen's song, I mean, was great. Talk to me about why you love this portrayal of Karen so much.
I think Avantika, was so funny and made it her own. Like, she wasn't copying Amanda Seyfried, and for me, she and Renee Rapp were like the standouts of the film. And her song is just so stupid but funny, and she was also like dancing amazingly. Like,
did you not think though, because I could just tell, right, this is actually an actress that, yes, has comic timing, yes, that is intelligent. I don't know, because when you first saw Amanda Seyfried on camera, and you looked at her, and you're just like, you fully believed, oh, this is a dumb, I don't want to say the B word, I don't want to say the S word or the H or the W word that was said a lot in the original film. It wouldn't be appropriate for camera, but you believed that kind of dumb bimbo portrayal, whereas this, I just was like, I could see, it just felt like you're playing dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think at first you're right, especially as I remember thinking at first I wasn't sure which was Gretchen and which was Karen.
Exactly, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and you're right. But as the film went on, Karen became one of my favourite characters from the film.
KD, what did we think of Angry Rice? I mean, miscast.
Really miscast. It's a shame. I just don't think she's a great singer, and she's
not right for KD.
No, and she was really outshone by, I mean, Renee Rapp's voice is incredible, but everyone's voice in it was really good, apart from her.
I mean, yeah, I know, but this is the thing as well. I mean, I think when you have an actress like Renee Rapp, I mean, I know she's not like Meryl Streep or Amanda Seyfried, she's not the established musical star yet. I think this film will definitely get her on her way, but when you're surrounded by a cast of newbies, let's say, you know, Renee Rapp is an exceptional talent, and she kind of, I think it's very clear that she outshone everyone else in the film. But that's the thing, I think in the original film you had Rachel McAdams and you had Lindsay Lohan as Katie, and you looked at them and you went, okay, these girls, they're equals in talent. Yeah. Whereas I didn't see Katie in this as an equal at all. I didn't, like, for example, I think everyone knows Lindsay Lohan's an American actress, yes. But when you watch the original, you kind of got the exchange student vibe, you can understand it. With this, I just looked at Katie and I just went, you're American.
Yeah.
You're not you didn't grow up in South Africa. You're an American with weird fashion sense. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. And what I will say about her as well is that I didn't see the transition wasn't as gradual as it is in the original. Like, agreed. From her to Mean Girl, it's suddenly like she's Mean Girl overnight, which was quite jarring.
Very jarring. And speaking of jarring, I think in a good way, which is another thing of the film that slightly made sense, was actually the cameos that we got in it. And I'm not just referring to Tina Fey. There is a very well-placed cameo to do with the mathletes. I don't think, should we reveal it? No, I don't think we should, because we're the show that tells people what's on in the cinema. We don't necessarily tell people what to think. But watch out, there is a very well-placed cameo towards the end of the film, which is very clever. And the lines, I thought, you know what, I just put it that way, this cameo for me was the highlight of the film, aside from Renee Rapp going, my name's Regina George. But that is the thing, I thought this is a well-placed cameo.
Oh, yeah, speaking of cameos and one that is out there, John Hamm, okay, I wanted more of him.
What was he doing? What was he doing in that film in the slightest? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, I get it. Some of the jokes from Coach Carr in the original would not be appropriate for today. I get it. But it just felt like, okay, you're getting an incredible actor like John Hamm, you know, Top Gun Maverick galore. We love him in so much. Baby Driver, of course. You know, there are so many films that I go, yes, why? It just felt like it was, oh, let's just get one famous character in, just put him in. That fat suit was awful. It was horrendous. It wasn't convincing. Yeah, he had like a dad bod fat suit, but a thin, muscular face. It did not work.
Yeah, his jokes were landing.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think really much landed in this film, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, it just felt, that was a jarring cameo. That was a really jarring cameo. Like, there was the first one with the mathletes, that was a good jarring. And then you had this, which was just, no, filmmakers, Tina Fey, what were you thinking? No. I will say, though, on the subject of Tina Fey, I did like the twist at the end.
Yes.
With Miss Duval and the principal. I like that.
I liked that. I wasn't sure if you were going to mention that, but I mean, really liked it.
I'm saying there's a twist. We're not saying what it was, but there is a twist. But that's the thing. Even, for example, all the fighting scenes in the hallways once the burn book's revealed, again, Girls Gone Wild, it just felt like tame. It felt more like Wild in a Zoo, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's because I saw the show live, and the show live is amazing. It was on Broadway, it was amazing, and it is coming to the UK. And I don't know if musicals generally translate back to movies. Like,
Cats, we're looking at you. We're looking at you, Cats.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's one recently that I saw, and I can't think what it was, but. Sorry.
Yeah, Dear Evan Hansen as well. We're looking at you, Dear
That's
Evan Hansen. We're looking at you, Cats. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm looking forward to Wicked coming up at the end of the year. I think that will be that, and especially that's being done in 2 parts as well. So I think Universal really dragging it out. No, but I think that's going to be one to look forward to. I think it depends on the subject matter. With this, I just felt, okay, the musical on Broadway was moving it along. You're seeing it in person. You're seeing it presented in a different way. This just felt like it was a really poorly executed, try-hard remake of the original film with all the wind and the sails taken out of it. The jokes, I mean, let's just say it was a stormy landing and not in a good way. I'm talking about planes struggling to land at Heathrow. Really not. Like, just about landing just because of, okay, they're the original jokes. We kind of like them, but yeah.
There were some new jokes that I enjoyed, and I was actually
They were the best things.
Yeah,
the new
I
ones.
was really enjoying the dialogue, and it was the songs that took me out of it. And
I mean, every time we broke into a new song, it just felt like Disney Channel original movie gone wrong. Honestly, it was just. My head was. I literally sat there. I'm kidding you not. This is me in the cinema. I was going. And then breaking into a song.
Literally, it was especially KD's songs, unfortunately.
You know what? I'm done with talking about this. Let's move into the reviews. Out of 5, what did you think?
3, probably.
Well, I think I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to go a bit higher.
I did have fun. Like, I enjoyed it. Came out the cinema smiling, had a good time. But the songs were not the best, and also KD is obviously the lead person in the film, and I didn't
actress
think
that
she was great.
Not a lead actress.
So it was a 3, but I had a good time.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time in the cinema. I'm giving it 1 out of 5. KD was not KD. Renee Rapp was the best thing. Did I have fun? I had fun at times, in moments. Didn't land. Poor remake. I also, even considering it was Tina Fey's movie, I really didn't think that she was used enough in this movie, not like the original. I just thought, Mean Girls, why did we do this? I don't want to say don't see it in the cinema, because that's not what this show's about, but we didn't need another Mean Girls movie, even if you wanted to do it as a musical, or if you did want to do it as a musical, do it another 10 years down the line when we're so far separated from the noughties. I still think there are some of us that go to the cinema that were noughties kids, that feel like we're still children at heart, you know, and maybe 10 years down the line it might have worked better, but just, you know, Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams only look, well, in terms of Rachel, slightly different from what they used to look like in the original film. I just think, why? We didn't need this. The Gone with the Wind of rom-coms. We just didn't need it. But yes, I think kind of scathing reviews. I mean, I will say, from an ultimate Mean Girls fan who's seen the show on Broadway, To only give it 3 stars,
Yeah.
I think says it all. I think says it all. Hayley, thanks so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Little bit of a mixed bag, but as always, we are the show that doesn't tell you what to think. We simply say what's on, and we want to hear what you have to think. So please comment below, and if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.